Yo guys, what's up? Sam Cole here. Absolutely massive Apple news update today. Apple has just confirmed that USB-C is coming to the iPhone, plus there's a 16-inch iPad in the works, and we finally have the exact specs for the upcoming Apple Silicon Mac Pro. There's so much to talk about as always, so if you're excited, seriously does help me out if you guys hit that like button and hit subscribe as well. All right, I'm beyond stoked for this video because first of all, USB-C is coming to the iPhone, confirmed by Apple. Now, I know I've thrown those words around before, all right? I'll throw some peps out there. I'll get a little crazy and say confirmed a little bit too easily sometimes. So let me provide some context here if you haven't been following along. There has been this bill going through the EU for months, years even, about a mandatory charging port standardized for all manufacturers of smartphones and also some laptops and cameras in the European Union. And it finally got passed. The law is official. Starting by the fall of 2024, every smartphone sold in the EU, if it has a port for charging on there, it has to be USB-C. No Lightning, no micro USB, no weird proprietary port from somebody else. If there is a charging port, it legally has to be USB-C, which is awesome, right? Because this means, well, that Apple's hand was essentially forced to switch to USB-C. And that's why you'll hear Jaws say this in the interview.
Is Apple moving to USB-C?
Governments, get to do what they're going to do, and obviously we'll have to comply. We have no choice, as we do around the world, to comply to local laws. But we think the approach would have been better environmentally and better for our customers to not have a government be that prescriptive.
You see why I had to show you the clip, because I wouldn't have actually believed that this was real unless it was caught on video. That's Jaws that just said that, Apple's senior vice president of marketing, who I've actually met, by the way, and was really cool and friendly. I don't know why I brought that up, probably just because I'm really in a big hype up Jaws mood because he said that USB-C is coming.
How soon might we see it? USB-C.
Well, again, the Europeans are the ones dictating timing for European customers, and their.
But you wouldn't just
rules.
probably change it in one area.
Oh, Joanna, you're trying to get me to predict the future.
Now, to be clear here, Jaws didn't say when this was going to be happening, because of course he didn't. Of course he's not just going to unveil the iPhone 15 in its entirety at a Wall Street Journal press event a month after the iPhone 14 came out. But if you look at what every reputable source is saying, it's happening on the iPhone 15 in September of next year. So less than a year from now, the USB-C will replace the Lightning port worldwide. Just to reflect for a second, can't believe we actually made it here and that it took the literal European Union for Apple to make this change on the iPhone 15, but it's happening. Apple knows that they're putting it on there. That's why they were being so, dodgy, but half answering the question, as well as all of the rumors, again, saying it's coming next year. It's gonna be better for everybody, and I just can't believe it's actually happening. Really not all that far away, but of course, in the meantime, until then, I'm gonna make sure my iPhone 14 is protected. Next up, let's talk about protecting your iPhone 14, which is what I do every day with Casetify, who sponsored today's video. Listen, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I absolutely love Casetify. They have the best design selection that I have ever seen. There is something for absolutely everyone and anyone here, and you can even customize it with text or a quote. There's nothing that compares there, but especially with the drop protection as well. This is the newest Impact Ultra line for the iPhone 14 Pro, and it's got these special EcoShock corners for up to 11.5 feet of drop protection. That's 5 times the military standard and about 30 times the SAM standard for how often I drop my phone. I have dropped this phone so many times and it has never had an issue, not even a close call, because of how well these cases are manufactured. And speaking of manufacturing, they're recycled, so you can also feel good about buying these phone cases because they were made from other recycled phone cases. So just for you guys, you can get 15% off your order when you go to casetify.com/iupdateyt. Listen, man, your iPhone's expensive. Don't trust anybody else but Casetify to protect it. So check them out. Link is down below. And thanks again to Casetify for sponsoring this video. Now, next up, let's move on to the iPad, because Apple's made, some questionable choices across the iPad and iPad Pro lines recently. So I started to get a bit worried about the future of the iPad until we got this new report from The Information, who has shared Apple's plans to make a much larger iPad than anything we've seen before, one with an absolutely massive 16-inch display, which is the same size as this. This is a 16-inch MacBook Pro, and having a tablet this size, oh man, Yes, yes, give it, please. I'd like it quickly. I'd like it immediately, please. Anyway, jumping back to the report, this is going to be apparently geared toward creative professionals like graphic designers and artists who are looking for a bigger screen. And I think hitting that market potentially with a third generation Apple Pencil, it could be killer. And surprisingly, we actually know when this is coming. It says it's going to be dropping in the fourth quarter of 2023. So essentially a year from now, we're going to have our hands on a wild 16-inch all-screen tablet, which sounds fascinating, and it absolutely sounds like something that I will be picking up as somebody that loves going for big screens to do work. Ah, man, this could be really huge. Speaking of work, let's talk about the Mac Pro. This is the only computer Apple has never put Apple Silicon in so far, and Apple said they were going to do it before the end of this 2-year transition, which is up in November of 2022. But based on a new report from Mark Gurman, it seems like we're going to have to wait just a little bit longer, although the wait is absolutely going to be worth it. We just got to jump into the specs here because it's apparently going to have an M2 Ultra and M2 Extreme chip on the inside, which will have a 24 or 48 core CPU, 76 or 152 core GPU. I'm sorry, what? Are we just throwing like magic in these? I guess that is Apple Silicon. What, 152 GPU? I'm ready. Yes, please take my money. And also 128 and 256 gigabytes of RAM, respectively. This machine is going to be just an absolute beast, which could make sense why it's taking a little bit longer than expected to get out the door. I feel like the numbers with Apple Silicon are just silly. I mean, I've enjoyed it every day since I got it in my Mac Studio. It's been game-changing in the MacBook Pro. Apple Silicon has delivered in every way. So I see why Apple is being a little bit more careful, a little bit more calculated with the Mac Pro. They don't want to just rush something out like an M1 version that they could have done a year ago. They want to make sure like this is proving something yet again. I don't think this is just going to be, a little like Apple Silicon in the existing Mac Pro. It sounds like this is going to be something a little bit different, something that we've never seen on this scale from Apple before. But it's not coming until next year. I should end the report with that because it does not sound at all like it's coming in 2022. It sounds like late-ish 2023. You've got some time. Listen, I know you're watching this video, you're like, well, I need the $30,000 Mac Pro. No, you don't. You just need this $250 Magic Keyboard Folio. This is all you need. And now I'm left here alone as the Folio has left me. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Just USB-C on the iPhone. Just take that away. Tell your friends. Go do some caroling outside your local Apple store about the USB-C because we need to celebrate the season. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. More videos soon. See you in the next one. Peace.